Welcome back to another edition of the Penn State 365 podcast. I'm your host, Richie O'Leary, and joined, as always, when we're talking Penn State basketball recruiting, Happy Valley Insider's very own Austin Mitchell. Austin, some huge news for Penn State basketball this morning. They landed their highest-ranked recruit ever in the Rivals rankings history, which dates back to 2002. As number 39 overall, Kayden Mingo out of Long Island Lutheran in New York has committed to the Nittany Lions on the Breakfast Club, which was kind of cool to see. Or I should say here, because it is on the radio. But yeah, just talk to me about how this one kind of came together and how the hell did Penn State land a top 40 basketball recruit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just as shocked as you are. He's a great addition for Mike Rhodes and the team. As you mentioned, highest ranked recruit ever. I believe second top 50 recruit, at least in recent recruit history. So big time ad from New York. Kayden Mingo. He took a visit back in September 7th, which was the weekend football played against Bowling Green. So I'm going to assume he went to the game, and that had a lot to do with it, just seeing the overall crowd environment that Penn State can have. They have a good team. That I bet Rhodes is hoping to bring that to basketball, showing them what's possible. That's kind of something to do with it for sure.
Yeah, you just said it. Second top 50 recruit ever. The only other one was Tony Carr back in 2016. He was number 46 overall. But Kayden Mingo, talk a little bit about his game. I know, obviously, rankings-wise, he's very talented. You could just tell anytime you get a top 40 recruit. And like I said before, the top recruit in Penn State basketball history.
Yeah. He's 6'1" guard. He just finds ways to will himself to the rim. Very shifty. He likes kind of a cross or in and out. Just utilizing defenders' leverage to doing one or the other, basically based on how they're playing him. He's got the ability to extend the floor with the deep range three. So he's just like an all-around great scorer. Very shifty, very strong. Can attack at pretty much will.
I know we have him listed as a point guard. Do you see him more as like a combo guard type of role?
Yeah. I could see him really either. We'll see, where he fits as he, comes to college. Point guard is probably his more likely role, but I wouldn't be shocked if he carves himself a role as shooting guard, combo guard as well.
Okay. And not to mention, I mean, they beat out a bunch of different schools. This kid's had offers from just about everyone across the country. Notre Dame was considered a favorite at one point. Wake Forest, he took an official visit to. I think St. John's, he took a couple of visits to. Northwestern. The list goes on and on. So Georgia was rumored as a front runner as of, 2-3 weeks ago? And Penn State got this done. I just need to kind of reiterate, how impressive is this for Mike Rhodes? Not only to land the highest ranked prospect in program history, but the number 3 ranked prospect in program history was last recruiting class with Miles Goodman. So how big is this for Mike Rhodes and crew?
It's huge. Can't understate how massive this is for the program. It kind of just reiterates that Mike Rhodes is the guy. That he loves the school. He knows the school. He knows how to recruit to this school, and that Penn State basketball is going to be back sooner than maybe some expected if they keep this up. Goodman, just this past year, like he's a freshman, and now this back to back high end recruits is phenomenal for Mike Rhodes' first 2 recruiting classes.
Yeah. So now he does have a younger brother who's even more talented than him, which is crazy to say, and Dylan Mingo, who's currently number 11 in the 2026 rankings. What's kind of the play there? Do you think they got to kick the tires on that one, right? At least
it feels like a no-brainer that you got to go all out for him. You kind of think of Rutgers' situation with acquiring the Harper brothers not too far apart, but these two are even closer. They would be able to play together potentially. And I think that's got to be a big recruiting pitch. So yeah, you have to go all out for him. He's near top 10 recruit in the country. 6'5" guard, I believe. So, I mean, yeah, I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, with signing day coming up in a week and a half? I think 10 days, 11 days, something like that now. This is probably it, right? Between Hauser, between him, between Mason Blackwood. Mason Blackwood, we haven't gotten a chance to really talk about, is very talented as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's looking like a great recruiting class. 2 4-stars and a 3-star, I believe. After a great recruiting class last year, 4 current freshmen. Yeah, probably it, considering 4 freshmen last year. They're going to have, a lot of young guys. but I think it's a great 1, 2, 3 punch to grab. So I don't think
Yeah.
they necessarily need to add any more.
Okay. Another thing I want to ask you is, so now it's pretty obvious that like NIL plays a factor in just about every recruitment, especially when it comes to basketball, especially when it comes to top 40, top 50, top 80 even ranked prospects. Does Penn State kind of have NIL situated with basketball? Because we heard Pat Kraft yesterday in a Yahoo Sports interview say that they're catching up. They're getting closer and closer to being in that top tier again.
I mean, it certainly wouldn't shock me. This is one of the biggest sports schools in the country, one of the
Hmm.
biggest athletic departments in the country overall. I believe they're top 5 in revenue. So it would make sense they have NIL, largest living alumni network.
Hmm.
It makes sense they have a lot of donations coming in. So you've got to think that plays a factor, and that with Mike Rhodes' recent recruiting success and NIL money likely only trending up with if recruiting is successful, then yeah, the ceiling's high for Penn State in that department.
I know our season preview is coming out a little bit later this week, but talk to me a little bit about how hyped you are for this season. I know it's going to be an interesting one, I should say, because there's a mixture of veterans, a mixture of freshmen, a mixture of newcomers too from the portal.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. Season openers Monday against Binghamton.
Hmm.
Um, right out of the bat, it's going to be a bunch of games that this team should win, be able to build some chemistry, and then we'll be able to see how good they really are when we get down to the Daytona Beach tournament and the Big Ten play. Um, I think that the ceiling is higher than most people expect it to be, just
Hmm.
because it's such a tough Big Ten that you can carve out a bunch of good wins if you play well. Get hot. Get hot for 2 weeks. That's 3, 4, 5 potentially good wins that you can acquire, which would be huge. So yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait to see where this team goes. I feel like it's really like wide range that they could be this year.
Yeah. All right, that's really all I got. I noticed a little bit of a shorter one. Any final thoughts on Kayden Mingo though before we sign off? I mean, it's just ginormous news.
Yeah, I think just great addition.
Hmm.
Big time for Rhodes. Big time for the players right now that are working hard in practice. To get better.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be a great fit. He's going to have guys like DeLeone, Stewart, above him, Carter, that are going to be really good players too. That he's going to come in here and get challenged day one and be able to challenge them. As soon as he's here.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, check out pennstate.rivals.com. Austin already has an article up on Keenan Mingo's commitment. We'll have more later this week, like I said, in a season preview podcast, as well as what else am I missing? Oh, yeah, Monday. Monday, the season starts. So I'm sure we'll have game recaps, game previews. We already got a bunch of stuff set up for this season. It's going to be an exciting one for Mike Rhodes and his crew. But for me and Austin, that's another edition of the Penn State 365 podcast. Signing off.